Hi there, welcome to class. My name is Benin and I'm an English teacher from the UK. Today I would like to work together on our conversation skills and give you some tools that you can use to change the topic in English conversation. So in our mother tongue, changing the topic is super easy, right? We do it really casually, really naturally, but it's very hard to do this in a second language or a foreign language. So let's have a look at some phrases that we can use to change the topic in informal English conversation. And note here that I do say informal conversation because changing the topic in formal situations is a little different, so we'll leave that for another time. Okay, the first phrases we can use to change the topic in English for both related topics, so very similar topics, and very unrelated topics are these two here. By the way, and anyway. So let me give you an example of what I mean about the related topics first of all. Let's say we're talking about my family and I want to change the topic to talk about your family. We can use these phrases, no problem. So I could say, my family are well. My grandma's recovering well from her illness. Thanks for asking. By the way, how is your family? Okay, so this really works. Or I could say, anyway, how's your family? We could also use these phrases with very different topics, no problem at all. So let's say we want to move from family to work, for example. We can use these phrases. So I could say, yes, so my family's very well, blah, blah, blah. By the way, how's your new job? I forgot to ask you. Or anyway, how's your new job? I forgot to ask you. Right? So these are really, really good to use in a range of different situations. The next set of phrases we can only use to talk about those very similar topics in English, and these ones are speaking of, talking of, and on the topic of. So these would work well to switch from family to family-related topics. For example, my family is really well. Speaking of family, how are yours, for example? Or it could be like sports to sports. I'm following the tennis at the moment. Speaking of sports, have you been following the football, for example? Or it could be work to work, right? We could say, I'm having a rough time at work. My boss is giving me a bit of a headache. On the topic of work, how are you doing in your new job, for example? So all of these switch to a very related topic. Okay, and the last set of phrases we use to switch to a totally unrelated topic, very, very different. And these phrases are totally unrelated, but this has nothing to do with what we were talking about. But on a completely different note, completely changing the topic or subject, but... So let's say these ones we want to use, for example, talking about work, and we're a bit fed up of work, so we want to change to a happier, fun topic. We could say, work is getting me down a bit, my boss is annoying me. Totally unrelated, but did I tell you I've recently started painting and I'm really enjoying it, for example? Or maybe we're talking about the news and we want to talk about a very, very different news topic. I could say, I've been following the elections. I have no idea who's going to win. Oh, this has nothing to do with what we were talking about. But did you see the science news recently? It was really interesting, this development in renewable energy, for example. And we can use all of these phrases in a very similar way to just totally shift that topic to something different. So those are our phrases for today. I hope you can use them in your informal English speaking. Let me know if you have any questions I can help with about how to use them. And as always, if you'd like to practice, feel free to just write something in the comments and I'll have a look at it. Thank you very much for watching. See you very soon.